Grab, Gojek in Indonesia, they have that windows of time that the other competitors cannot catch up with them. Now with the AI, and also the AI labs have all the data about it, they can suddenly catch up in just hours, seconds maybe.
For years, third-party sellers on Amazon lived with a quiet paranoia. If your product got too successful, Amazon will use your own sales data to clone it, put an Amazon Basics label on it, and price you out of existence. Well, that same playbook is happening in the software industry, but this time it's the foundational AI labs that are pulling the trigger. When Anthropic released Claude Design to directly challenge Figma, they sent a clear message to every SaaS founder on Earth. Your AI partner is your future competitor.
Welcome back to the Tech Column. This episode, we are tracking one of the most ruthless dynamics in business history. The platform trap is a story as old as tech itself. Apple did it with their Sherlock utility apps by turning them into native iOS features. Amazon mastered it by turning top-selling vendor products into a house brand. But now we are seeing this exact playbook played out at machine speed in artificial intelligence sector.
And the poster child for this shift is a sudden war between Anthropic and Figma. Figma spent years integrating Anthropic's Claude models to make design workflows smarter. But just a few months ago, Anthropic turned around and launched Claude Design, a standalone tool that lets anyone generate production-ready UI prototypes straight from an LLM prompt. Today, we're going to dissect whether any startup building on top of an AI API can actually survive. So, like we mentioned about the Amazon playbook, this is not surprising. A lot of software developers have always said, whenever you use a platform, it's not your own software. It's the same thing. Like, if you have investors, it's no longer your company. The same thing. The investors control your company. The platform controls your app. They can shut it off. They can make changes. So yeah, why? Why do it? It's faster. It's easier, and you can go to market quickly. But then again, who has the data? Who holds the keys?
So the world is very happy with the AI because suddenly, like, someone who cannot coding can build some apps. Very happy about it in a fast way as well.
Yep.
Like, I see some story about someone from the Google he has the idea about developing traffic apps like Agoda. He postponed it for the 14 years because he doesn't have the money, he doesn't have the resource, and he just made it in a few days or weeks using the AI, and then boom, it can be launched. But it also, there's a hidden threat from the AI labs that you mentioned, because AI labs can also copy it and then boom.
Yep, make it native.
Yep.
So that's why like I'm old enough to remember how Apple Sherlock. Sherlock was this search engine basically for finding anything on your Mac back at the time. It was an app. It was a separate app that you could purchase. Then in the next iteration of the Mac OS, they made their own version, and it was integrated and it was free. Bye-bye, Sherlock. So yeah, this is what happened if you are reliant on another platform or another company instead of being open. Like if you host it, if you have a product that is on a mobile phone or whatnot, there's always a risk that the platform owner, it could be the Android, the iOS, Windows, Linux, whatever, well, not Linux, they could basically integrate that into their system. Actually, with Linux, potentially, you never know. They can also integrate that into the system. So there is always a risk about that. But at the end of the day, who has the traffic? AI, foundational apps, they have the traffic. The operating systems, they have the traffic. So how can you balance that and maintain your own brand and your own app so it's separate from that? It can be done. I mean, the one thing that should be interested is that who has the data? The Amazon case that we talked about in the beginning, they have the sales data, They have the marketing data. If you had ads or whatnot, they look at the traffic data. They look at the interest. They have all of that.
So who has the data knows which products can sell, yeah?
Yes. So if you're a developer, you want to use AI to make the app, great, make the app. But if you use the AI within the app all the time, so like where you launch it and the user uses it, but they have API calls to the AI, that's not a good thing, because then the data will also be shared with the AI lab as well, with the Anthropic or the OpenAI or whoever, because you're always doing an API call. And that could be expensive in the long run, number one. And number two, you don't have all the data you need. So if you use the AI to make the app, but keep it separate from anything else, then fine, you should be all right.
There's gone the era where the competitors have the windows of time to catch to the innovation, like Uber, Grab, Gojek in Indonesia. They have that windows of time that the other competitors cannot catch up with them. Now with the AI, and also the AI labs have all the data about it, they can suddenly catch up in just hours, seconds maybe.
And they have money. Well, they kind of have money. I mean, OpenAI has been buying so many things, including a podcast and some other companies. They have money to take an idea and like immediately launch it, broccoli, really fast. But they also need the money because they're bleeding money for all of the servers they need, the GPUs they need, plus all the deals that they've made previously, which is like mounting up to $2 trillion already. So yeah, this is another podcast of like doing a pre-mortem.
Yeah, maybe
of
the
what OpenAI has
OpenAI
done.
currently needs more products.
They need more products, but they need more. They need
Because
money.
the ad is completely failed.
The OpenAI ads is not working that much, but they need the money to, well, forget grow. They need the money to survive, apparently. So yeah, I mean, like now.
Yeah, so copying the products that works, it will be easier for them.
If they were to split it off, if they were to splinter that off into another company and have it as a backup, then yes. But so far, all of their previous endeavors and purchases have been rather questionable. They don't really bring any money that they desperately need.
Yeah, you remember that OpenAI also offering the free tokens for the developers, right?
Yep. Is that still going on?
It's a very good idea, Vish, to have these innovative apps, lock it in a secure environment, keep it away from the closed model, use the open source to build it. And my friend said, what makes the difference if you have these innovative apps, but suddenly the other AI labs or AI frontier copy it directly? You need 1,000 of numbers of users, maybe millions of users, so the AI labs cannot catch up with those numbers.
Potentially. But then again, if you build it separately and like you use the AI to build it, but you don't use the AI inside it, it should be fine. But if your app is basically a wrapper for an API for an AI lab, you don't own the moat. You own an unpaid research division for that AI lab because they'll have that data. And you're always using their engine. You want to have your own engine. So that's why it's very, very important to keep it like that. Like Salesforce, they should be fine because they have their own moat, they have their customers, they have the reputation and all that. But if you were to build a Salesforce competitor using AI and using API calls to the AI, you're not going to survive. Because the AI labs could easily copy that and launch their own because they have more money, more power, more connections, more users.
So how do software companies survive when their foundation model provider can turn into direct competitor in overnight? You have to build defensibility that AI models cannot easily clone, deep proprietary datasets, local hardware integration, or tight hardware-software ecosystems.
The lessons from Amazon and Anthropic are crystal clear. Building on someone else's platform is like building a house on rented land. Eventually, the landlord decides they want the house for themselves. So, what are you going to do about it? If you have any thoughts or comments or concerns, leave us a comment below or send us an email at media@netpublic.id. See you next time.